Hi, this is Ben Rogers. This is the Property Diary. It's Tuesday, 20th of November. A whole bunch of stuff to share with you today. Been a busy little day for all sorts of reasons. First things first, one of the guys that responded to one of my leaflets, we're going back probably, I don't know, 7-10 days ago. Had a quick chat to him on the telephone, and it turns out they've got a sort of 5-bedroom sort of detached chalet bungalow style property, and they want to move on. They want to move and be close to schools, etc. So they've got fairly clear ideas what they want, and the only way they thought they could do that was by releasing the equity in the house. Anyway, we had quite a long chat, and I explained that actually, there's another alternative. Maybe what they could do is they could let us know what sorts of properties they want to get into, and maybe we can see if we can do an option on that property for them. So I sent them off some homework. I told them, look, go out there and see if you can use something like Rightmove and find out the property that you want to live in. Why don't you use the function on Rightmove that allows you to email me those properties? So I can then understand what sort of property you're looking for. If there's anything that comes up anyway, that'll help you move into that. But also, it helps me to then directly target those properties on their behalf in some form of option, installment contract, whatever. So it's a bit kind of, excuse my language, but it's a bit arse about face. This is me wanting to get hold of their property on some form of creative strategy and helping them to get into another property themselves on some form of creative strategy. So I've got a whole bunch of properties that have started to come through from him. So I thought I'd just sort of let you know about that. Don't think we mentioned that one before. We had a property meeting today. We had we talked, and this is probably on yesterday's property diary. We had a conversation with a guy. He's living with his cousin. They want to be in separate directions. Anyway, long story short, our meeting day was at midday. 11 o'clock we get a call into the office. Oh no, they've changed their mind. They don't want to sell their property in this way. Now what I should have done is probably sort of jumped onto the phone myself and spoke to him. Carol took the call. I should have jumped on the phone, had a chat to him and found out the reason why. Because now what's happened is that kind of a bit of uncertainty has kicked in. So, classic thing is learn from my mistake. Explain when you're talking to people and you've got an appointment set up. Don't worry, you'll probably speak to a whole bunch of people and they might have some ideas of what they think we're going to do and how we're going to do it, and don't worry about that. All we need to do is sit down and talk about how we can solve the problem. And don't worry about the people that say, well, that sounds a bit weird, that sounds a bit odd. Yeah, it is a bit weird, it is a bit odd, but I tell you what, gives you what you want. So let's meet up and let's do that. Let's have that conversation. Anyway, long story short, didn't get back to him because I was so blooming busy today, and that appointment kind of fizzled away. Has it fizzled away? No. I'll give him a call over the next couple of days, and we'll see if we can't get it back on track. I've been working with a fellow property investor today. Hello, Lucy. Lucy's looking to do her first tenant buyer deal. And she's got a meeting today with the vendor, and she's trying to work out, she thinks it's going to go the route of a tenant buyer solution. I spent probably about sort of 45 minutes whilst I was driving around today, just chatting to Lucy and sort of feeding her through the right language to talk to when she's talking to the vendor. And to be honest, right now, not to worry about the tenant buyer angle. That's once she's got hold of the property. Right now, she needs to get hold of the property. She needs to solve the problem of the existing vendor. So we spent a bunch of time on that, and I think that should have worked out quite nicely for us. So looking forward to hearing back on that one. Also, I've got one of my sort of mentees at the moment. Got one of their existing HMOs that they want to ship on an option. So I thought, well, I'll just chuck it out to my database, see what happens. Crikey, got slightly inundated with inquiries, and I've put him together with probably about 8 or 9 people who might be interested in doing it. So look, tell you what, look, here's I will charge a finder's fee. I'll charge a finder's fee of £1,000 because I've put 2 people together, I've connected them. But to be honest, what I'm doing is I'm passing it off to Martin for him to actually interact with and liaise with the people that are interested in the property. He knows the ins and outs of it. He knows what he wants to achieve from it. He knows where his flexibility lies. Why not let the 2 of them speak together? And just keeping it very, very simple. I just invoice the person who buys it £1,000 after they complete on the paperwork. But it's a great opportunity. A ready-made HMO. It's got the furniture in it even. It cash flows nicely. You know, it's little money sort of down. It's element of the super rent is going towards paying off the property each month. Perfect for somebody who wants an HMO and can't get a mortgage and is struggling with the big deposit or the refurb costs. So perfect. And the final thing I just want to carry off. Brain's not working. Final thing I want to sort of let you know about tonight is an opportunity that's come up to us today with a guy called Sam. Sam has just sold his house. So why on earth am I speaking to Sam? Well, Sam really needs to sell his house for more than he's actually sold it for. He's about a week into it. He accepted the offer a week ago. It's off to the solicitors. There's no survey that's been done on the property yet, but he's agreed to sell it for 150. The challenge is he owes 149,800 or something on his mortgage. He's going to have to pay for his legal fees. He's going to have to pay for his estate agent. He's also got another £9,000 debt which he's paying, and he's got a car loan of £8,000 which he's paying. So even if he sells his house via the estate agent at the £150,000, he's still going to be on the wrong side of positive with the money he's going to have to spend out to actually sell it, and he's still going to have the £8,000 and the £9,000 loans that he's got to pay. So we've come to a conclusion that, you know, we could take this property on. It's a 3-bed with a massive kitchen diner and 2 separate, or could be separated, large reception rooms downstairs. In my mind, that makes a 5-bed HMO over 2 floors, non-licensable. Fantastic. If I look at that, it's been £75 a room. That equates to, I think, about £1,600. If I make that £80 a room, that's just over £2,000 a month. His mortgage is expensive. His mortgage is £1,000 and 55p a month, and he does actually have £1,200 arrears on that. And the reason it is so expensive is it's actually with I want to say Cheltenham and Gloucester. It's not. It's with the Chelsea Building Society. And when he moved out of the property and he was renting it out, and he then sort of kind of told Chelsea he was doing that, so they whacked up the interest rate. His interest only mortgage went from about £740 odd a month to £1,000 a month, just because he got tenants in the property. Ouch. Is that a problem to me? No, because I can make it work. We've already worked out that £600 or £2,000 a month is what income I'd get from an HMO. So I can afford to cover that. We're obviously also looking to cover the £9,000 loan that he's got. It's only cost about £100 a month. So for £1,100 a month, I can get a property that is either going to cash flow, or it's going to cash flow between £1,600 and £2,000 a month. So even once I take into account the utilities and the council tax, I'm still quids in. I haven't had to get a mortgage, and I haven't had to put a big deposit down. So perfect. The £1,200 arrears that are on the property, Chelsea are quite happy with that at the moment. What we'll probably do is we'll just gradually chip away at that. £1,200 at £100 a month, well, that disappears in a year anyway. And what we might do is then actually keep on paying that £100 a month, just to gradually sort of whittle down the amount outstanding. But as far as I'm concerned, I can take that on a nice long deal, because as far as he's concerned, he just wants stuff gone. He wants to get back to a very simple life. The other thing to just chuck in then, just shows you how flexible we can be on this, is that the estate agent that's actually selling or has sold the property for him, guess what? It's an ex-girlfriend, it's an ex-partner. So I said to him, look, you know, how's she going to feel once you tell her that you're not going ahead with the sale? He said, oh, to be honest, I'm already getting mates rates from her. So I found out, you know, what they're actually going to be charging him. It's about 500 quid. So I said, look, I wouldn't go back to her right now and say that's what you're going to do, because I tell you what, let's meet up. Let's meet up face to face. He actually owns it with his father. His father's on the mortgage, so I need to meet both of them at the property, which we've agreed to do on Saturday at 11 AM. So I meet up with them at the property, go through everything, make sure we're happy, check around the property, take some photos, etc., etc., and then we'll do heads of terms. At that point, I suggest that he then speaks to his estate agent and let them know that he's pulling out of the sale. And at that stage, I suggest that they raise an invoice for me for 500 quid and I'll pay it to them. Now, where's that money going to come from? It's going to come from the money that I want to get from the tenants that are going to be living in the property. You know, if I have to put 500 quid up now, is it worth it? If every single month I can make, you know, £300, £400, £500 cash flow on it, absolutely. So there you go. I thought I'd keep you up to date with what's been going on. Fairly busy little day, all sorts of stuff going on. My name is Ben Rogers. This is the Property Diary. It's the 20th of November. Tomorrow I'm actually up in London, so I'm not quite sure what I'll be able to do and what I'll be able to feed back to you tomorrow, but I've got some interesting meetings up there for another business proposition. I shall love you and leave you, say good night, and I will look forward to speaking to you tomorrow. Take care. Cheers.